expense. His man had tied his cravat in a fashion so new, Robert did not yet know what it was called. He momentarily regretted handing his overcoat to the butler, as it was of an excellent cut, and its navy colour set off the sapphire of his eyes. Visiting his mother was a bit like going to war, except his clothing was the only arsenal he had against her. Lady Donahue, Amelia Anderson, awaited him in her airy sitting-room. Robert suspected she'd picked the moss-green walls and pale rose accents colours of the room for how well they complemented her light blonde hair and soft green eyes. Even long after the prime of her youth, there was no doubting she'd once been the catch of the season. Robert's first sign of trouble was her shimmering green silk day dress. Bushy eyebrows furrowed as he realised she too had dressed for battle. The gown was a childhood favourite. Robert remembered her wearing it while laughing at a joke his father told, and the answering softness of his father's smile. Robert stepped forward and bowed to his mother. Standing, he took her delicate hand and deposited a perfunctory kiss. "Mother, you look brilliant today." A delicately arched eyebrow rose at his words as she withdrew her hand. "What a charming liar you are." Knowing it was going to be a difficult meeting provided no comfort. Robert was doomed to play it through. "In truth, Mother, you look lovely. You glow in that gown." "For shame! This rag is hopelessly out of fashion, Robert. Everything I own is out of fashion. How am I supposed to help you find a wife if I cannot even leave the estate without risking utter humiliation?" His lady mother's voice was already rising, a slight hint of hysterics entering her mannerisms. Robert took a moment to consider his mother. He expected a charade of emotion, but this was not feigned. His mother was overcome with nerves. He set aside the typical Anderson bickering and closed the space between them. Robert held his mother tightly as she broke down in his arms. There was nothing ladylike or polite about her sobs. The initial crying subsided quickly, but Amelia stood quietly in her son's arms for several long moments. Robert could feel the deep, shuddering breaths coursing through her body. Amelia stepped back from her son's comfort and wiped her eyes. She took a deep breath and raised her chin, once again every inch the Countess of Donahue. Robert stumbled for something to say, and finally decided on silence. In the awkward moment that followed, Amelia poured herself and her son tea. Robert took it gratefully. "I wish for you to wed." It was a command, not a request. "I hear your words." Robert sounded resigned. "Perhaps it is time." The first hint of spring, Robert remembered. His father said both the dress and his mother's eyes looked like the first hint of spring. God's teeth, he wished his father would wake. He wished his mother would smile again. Those spring eyes currently displayed Amelia's scepticism. "What devious trick are you planning now?" Robert fought a smile at his mother's automatic suspicion. "No trick. The traditional solution to monetary issues is to marry wealth. A wife with a large portion will solve our quite temporary dilemma. I created this predicament, and I should be the one to extract us from it." His voice was firm. "And, to be clear, I require your compliance with your lowered allowance. I do not lie about our resources, Mother, and I will not access our entailments." She flipped her hair, an action that made the older woman look girlish. "Not even to relieve our genteel poverty?" Robert's expression was flat. "We have not yet tasted genteel poverty, Mother. I will hear no more on this subject." With a look of grave irritation, the Lady Donahue returned to her second favourite topic. "I am glad you have decided to wed." "Can I truly claim to have decided if I was bullied into it?" "There is no need to be insulting. No one can bully you into anything." She gave him a critical look. "Have you chosen a bride? I sent a post with several suggestions." "No. At this point, I have little care to who it will be. She must come with a generous endowment and be willing to wed quickly. No fashionable, year-long engagement. I would prefer a woman with a pleasant temperament. Other than that, I see no reason why one set of skirts will not do as well as another." "All women are not the same, Robert.